Okay, so I just had a student cancel on me, and usually when a student cancels on me, I do a little solo training, kind of review a principle and concept of the martial arts, just to keep the saw sharp. I was working on intercepting the ram, which is a technique out of the Kenpo system. A lot of people have a hard time with this technique, and it seems they have a hard time making it work. I think the reason is because they don't understand the kind of invisible aspects of the move. A lot of times with these techniques, especially in the Kenpo system, people are so focused on the firepower portion of the move. They get wrapped around the firepower and the actual firing of actual punches and kicks and knees and elbows and all that stuff, and they don't really focus on the underlying principles and concepts which actually make the move work. So I'd like to review that with you. Notice I'm solo training, and I've got a kind of creative setup. When you're solo training, you should definitely be more creative. Try to be as creative as possible with how you set this stuff up. Notice I got a chair here. This is Bob. He's tilted over because not everyone stands up straight all the time. When you hit a vertical bag, punch and kick and do all that stuff, it's great. It's good exercise, but it doesn't actually match the reality of the way people move in a fight. People will bend over, they'll wind back, they'll twist, they rotate, and sometimes they arc over. So it's like, if you're going to hit targeting areas properly, you want to practice the different angles and contours the human body actually makes. And you can actually get pretty creative with your training. Intercepting the ram is a tackle technique. So guys like charging you. So notice he's having a charging position. Intercepting the ram is a knee. Okay, so pretty much the guy's charging, you're gonna knee him. Okay? Pow! And you're gonna hammer fist him in the back of the head. So it's a knee, pow, hammer fist. Alright, and the thing about this move is a lot of people just sell out and throw this thing. They're like, bam! They try to make that work and hope that knocks the guy out. You know, hope is a strategy. Hope is never a good strategy. We want something more reliable than hope. So, I was talking about before, the principle of the move. I think a lot of reasons why people don't get this move right is they don't understand centerline properly. Centerline is here. This is the center line of Bob. Okay, he's on an angular plane, but this is his center line right here. If I'm on that center line, boom, what happens when he hits me? Well, I'm going to go falling on my back. The fight will end up, if I don't knock him out, the fight will end up on the ground. But most of the time, the fight will end up on the ground, even if I do knock him out. Why? Because he has momentum. Someone charging you has momentum. Someone shooting for your legs has momentum. We have to steal their advantage. Their advantage is momentum. Here's the center line. How do we steal the momentum advantage? We get off center. So this is his center line. Here, when I deploy that knee, I get off center. Now my knee can go in. So whether my knee succeeds or fails, or whether I knock him out or not, his momentum has been stolen. It's not headed toward me anymore. Notice, see his hand here? If I just leap off, put this here for a sec. If I just leap off and hammer, where's that hand? It's going right into my balls. Oh, that's no good. So I see a lot of people do this. This hand kind of hovers in the air. One of the principles we can take from Jiu-Jitsu is 3 points of contact. 3 points of contact from Jiu-Jitsu. So where are my 3 points of contact here? Boom. On the hand. If it's not on the hand, it's on the arm. I have to get control of this limb. I have to get control of this limb, otherwise I'm going to the ground. If I don't get control of this limb, he's either punching me in the balls or look. Is that how you say single leg kick? No good if you want to stay on our feet. Now, obviously, if he does get a single leg takedown and we go to the ground, well, we switch to our jiu-jitsu game. But for this test of purposes, we want to stay on our feet. Look at my hand. When you practice this, practice your hand. Pow! And there it is. Boom! That is intercepting the ram. Boom! Done with proper principle. I'm off the center. I'm off the center. Whether I hammer or I prefer a palm strike, to be honest with you, because I get a little more grip, you get a little more real estate, but details, little minor details. Pow! Notice the center line. Pow! Okay, now the interesting thing about intercepting ram is I don't stay off center line. The next part of the move is a downward elbow. Okay, so if this doesn't take him out, you're going to try to take him out with this. Now notice the awkward angle. When I'm off center line, I just got this reach. It just doesn't fit that good. So what do I do to solve this? Now that I'm off center, if he's still there, I go back on center. Here's the center line. Off center, back on center. See? And that is how we play center line. 3 points of contact off center. Bam! On center. No, this guy still got some control over his head. See, I got this like a little, I rock the baby. I got a little baby in my head. Oh. See? Oh. Ah. Notice my hand here. Notice my hand here. Ah. Boom! Off center. On center. Now, the final part of the move, we go off center again. So we're working on this corner, cutting across center to this corner over here, which you may not be able to see on the camera, but it's over in this area, over here. You're going to be over here, all right? So it's an angle, starting here, on center, off center this way. So I go off center, boom, on center, scoop, and there's that, boom. I'm off center. I'm off center on this side. Try to do it the stick as best I can here. Pow! Boom! So yeah, come around, pow, here. Pow! And now I'm off center, okay? So to make this move work, intercepting the ram, or any charging tackle for that matter, get off the center line. Steal their momentum. That is the ultimate thing you're trying to do. All this firepower, all right? Physical force in the martial arts is made up of movement and firepower. Too much emphasis is put on firepower. I have to say, that's the more fragile part of any of these techniques. It's not even Kenpo. It's like most martial arts put too much emphasis on firepower, not enough emphasis on movement. Our movement is off center. All right? Movement is off center. That steals momentum. 3 points of contact off center. Back on center. Off center again. Boom. And there's your technique, intercepting the ram. Hope you found this helpful. I know we do a lot of videos where we're blasting people and yeah, a lot of fancy music and techniques on the body, but I find that sometimes people, it's helpful to give advice on how to solo train. A lot of times you're by yourself, you don't have a training partner. Today someone canceled on me. How do I train in a meaningful fashion other than just training basics? Okay. Sometimes you got to be a little creative in how you do that. All right. If you like these, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. That way I know if you like this kind of stuff, I'll shoot more. If you find it helpful. Thank you and enjoy.